And this piece, what made it really interesting to me was there was aspects of sort of science fiction mixed in with the environmental, even though the environmental is the category, which you can tell because obviously the setting, the choice to use the natural elements, placing, the location, in a wooded area really aids in that. Plus, the use of the natural setting itself, like a lot of the time lapsed with the ants and seeing the flowers and all these things really added into the nature element. But this idea of this sepulcher object being able to influence nature in some way shape or form really gave it this fantastical sort of scientific sci-fi sort of shape to the story. And I just thought that was a wonderful mix of dimensional ideas together.
This was very cool. It did a great job at sort of building up some suspense, some tension, getting us to kind of lean in and really wonder. It really toes the line between mystery and confusion, and it does so really rather brilliantly, whether or not that's intended. I was, yeah, just sort of really wondering like what is going on. We follow this person and they're examining the land and everything, and you're just it just leaves a lot open for the mind to sort of wander and at the same time follow along with the narrative, and it's all put together really well. It's got a great cinematic quality to it, and overall, I really enjoyed it.
I thought this was really interesting. I thought the intentional choice to have kind of, it's not no noise, but it is no dialogue, and just have the kind of, intense music that was amping up and backing down, and then some kind of, typical background noise because he was kind of in the, like, in different like natural locations like in the woods, or maybe not woods, but like surrounded by trees or in the desert, and you'd obviously, get wind, you'd get some sort of ambient noise from that. I thought that was really, really interesting, especially because he was the only person that you saw the entire film. So I thought that the choice to have no kind of dialogue and no, even like, there was music, but it wasn't like there was no lyrics to it or anything like that. And I thought pairing that with the fact that he was all alone was a really, really great choice, because I think it just speaks to a loneliness that kind of lack of, it's not even lack of sound or lack of noise, but it's almost like lack of interaction, lack of, connection, because it's not taught, he's not even talking to himself, like, and there's nothing on the other end of that, like there is no other connection point, because he was all alone throughout this. So I thought that that was such a great choice. I really, really loved that. And then I just thought it was really interesting, kind of futuristic, maybe dystopian, and I thought that it left a lot to interpretation. So I kind of like that as an audience member, because it lets, kind of your own imagination fill in the blanks, which gives, it's going to sound weird, but it gives a lot of creative freedom to the audience that's just watching it, and they can kind of fill in like his circumstances beforehand or what they think he's going to do afterwards, just because it did leave things kind of vague. And like I said, I think that that's a really interesting choice, but it does give the audience kind of the freedom to uh, imagine and fill in the rest of the story, which I think is really fun. And I thought it was just really, really fascinating with the, this glass orb, and then obviously like the burying the things, and they all kind of seem to be like kind of relics of a different time, or maybe something kind of like nostalgia based. And like it left me with a lot of questions, but it definitely hooked me because I had those questions. So I really enjoyed it.
I really like Sepulcher. I thought it was good, like pure filmmaking as far as like it transported me to a world. Like it, y'all did a really good job at like making Earth feel like not the Earth that I know, you know? Like I don't know about maybe future Earth or like a different story world than the Earth that I know here right now today. You know what I mean? Um, it definitely felt like a different world, and like uh, 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 all that without dialogue, all that in 6 minutes, all that with just music and pure filmmaking, shot, composition, editing, juxtaposition of images. Like, and that's film, and like that's filmmaking at its best. So, good job, well done.